Michael, your overall thoughts on that today?
Comfortable, really comfortable. We knew they were going to come and make life difficult for us. You've only got to take one look at the league table to know that, and they've got 9 cup finals or eight more now. So they're not going to come and play open. So it was just, we started the game quite well. The keeper makes a big save from Tav, and then their lad has an injury. We have Borna, and it gets a bit stuffy. So we needed the first goal. It was a fantastic goal as well. Some of the stuff we're working on against the block and Todd and Malik, that's a relationship I really want to encourage, and we've done a lot of work on it, and it was a really good first goal. Ryan Kent nearly scored a fantastic second one, so we could have gone in at half-time 3-0 in front. We're not, so it's a dangerous scoreline, but I thought we were comfortable throughout. Alan had very little to do, and the only part I'll nitpick on is, can we be a little bit more ruthless, because we're creating a lot of chances and a lot of good moments as well, where it's 3v3 or 4v3, where we know that in games where we need to be more decisive, we're going to have to be.
Noticed a lot, especially in the second half, playing centrally around the box. There was a lot of intricate kind of movements. Was it a slight frustration there wasn't more attempts on goal? And there was a couple of times maybe overplayed, but you were saying you're practicing doing that more often against the low block. It's different to obviously the crosses coming in, so is that more of what you're trying to do? Yeah,
listen, we want the goals in the middle, so you try to go through the middle as much as you can. If not, you go wide and look to go under or cross the ball. I thought we got into good areas and we were wasteful, and in other times we were trying to score the perfect goal, and I thought the boys were enjoying themselves. I think for me, I would like to see us be a little bit more ruthless in the final third, but I think today, winning 2-0 after the break, coming back in, there was a lot of good things that we've been working on as well, and Malik goes and scores 2 more, but the most important thing, that he got another 75-80 minutes in his legs, because he's not done a lot the last month.
Michael, you took off James Tavernier today and put on Scott Wright, which is maybe not a substitution people would have read beforehand, and it seemed to go to a 3 at the back. Can you tell us what the thinking is by trying this new formation?
Well, the thing is, sometimes teams don't play anybody up front, or they play one, and so we want to play man for man with that one, and that's the only person we want there. So it's not free, it's a matter of just playing 1v1 on the halfway line, and I felt maybe Scott Wright dribbling was better than maybe James crossing, and it was something I was thinking early in the game, that when we went out wide, we could do with dribblers, and Scott's been waiting patiently for an opportunity. He's trained very well, and I thought he came on and did the job I wanted him to do, and probably we should have come away with at least 1 more goal because of that change, maybe 2. So it's not a case of playing 3 at the back. It's a case of, when teams are not playing anyone there, it's better angles to play 2 slightly wider on the halfway line rather than 2 more narrow. And we've been doing it from a back 4 anyway. If you look at the patterns are exactly the same, but it just gives us a chance to try and work on something, and maybe an eye to the future in terms of having different options. Yeah, there's an option there that we can take, but like all things, the player has a say in it as well, and so does the club that he's at, and a lot of things are agreed. But it's obviously there's been a change of manager there as well. That's not a part of the negotiations that I'm involved in, but I'm fully up to speed on that. There was more talks on that over the international break as well. So and everything at the moment is positive. Obviously, me and Malik have a fantastic relationship, and I think he really enjoys playing here. I think you only have to see in the way that he's grown in the time he's been here, that he's really enjoying his football.
Are you getting the feeling from Malik that he wants to be here beyond this season?
Yeah, I've never felt anything different from him. He's really locked into the staff, and he's really invested in the team. Since we've come, we've made quite a lot of modifications to Malik's game in terms of certain aspects, and today we asked him to play really close to Alfredo, because we thought it would give us a physical presence that we could play into him. When Dundee was sitting deep, we could play into him and get runners off, and it was a slight change for him to normal, but he comes away with 2 goals, so he's showing good signs that he can do a variety of jobs, and at such a young age I think he's got a really high ceiling. So yeah, everything's positive around that boy at the moment.
The fact that you want to make that transfer happen, spend the money, is that true? You see him as a big part of it?
future here going forward?
Yeah, I think the boy can play at a really high level. Like most young players, you know, they'll have ups and downs in their time, injuries and losses of form. And playing here at a big club, there's a demand every week to make an impact on the game. And I would say more often than not, certainly since I've been in the club, he's done that. I think that's only his fourth start in the last 11 games, if I'm not mistaken. And we've missed him in them games he's not been available for.
Michael, some really good football out there today. How do you think it sets you up for next weekend?
Completely different game. Hopefully a lot more spaces to play in. We'll have a different selection because we'll pick what we think's right for that. But our form in the league since probably I've come in, but even the 2 games before I came in has set us up for this game. It's the big challenge, and we're looking forward to it. It was important we got today out the way, performing well and getting a clean sheet and winning. We've not had a clean sheet in a while, and it was important we got one today.
What's your thoughts on the central striker position for next week, Michael? Because you started Alfredo today and brought Antonio on. Was that to get minutes into Alfredo's legs before Saturday, or?
No massive big decision behind it or anything looking further forward. It was Alfredo had the shirt and there was no one else fit, and he was playing well, and Antonio had come back. I liked his energy in training and I put him in the team. He did really well against Kilmarnock. We were fantastic as a team at Hibs. I kept him in for the cup game and then the game at Motherwell, and I just felt I wanted to see something different today because they were going to play 3 centre-backs and sit close to the box, and I wanted to play Malik in him and thought that the game might come down to crosses. They've got a big presence and you could play into them and they can use their body. So there's nothing really in it. I think we've been working a lot with Fashion as a number 9, which is where we originally signed him as well, whether that's in a 2 or a 1. So we're trying to make the most of the options that we have.
How much does this team need to make some kind of statement Brooks, Saturday, Michael going there?
I think we need to make a statement every week. So every time we play, there's a lot of questions. And one week a player plays well, he's great. The next week he doesn't. That's the life of a big club. And one week we're not wasteful, and the next week we are. And now we need to take more chances. And at Hibs it was fantastic. So I get it. It's a big game next week. It's nothing more than 3 points right now. We need to prove something to ourselves for sure. I think that it's a fantastic derby game, and in the eyes of the world and certainly all of Scotland and the UK is on it, so it's a privilege to be involved in it. We've got a good week preparation now for it.
What does it mean to push yourself?
I think we need to play how we play today in terms of some of the fluid football in that game. And I've not seen that as much as I wanted, certainly in the last one. The game here at Ibrox was a bit different. And we need to be decisive in the boxes because in both games we had more opportunities to be decisive, and unfortunately wasn't. And in big games, it does come down to what happens in the 2 penalty boxes.